Take a little walk to the edge of town and go across the track where the
The curious exception to this rule is Ray Comfort. I have Ray's new book. It's called You Can Lead an Atheist to Evidence, But You Can't Make Him Think, Answers to Questions from Angry Skeptics.
Did many endless hours of grinding on WoW prepare you psychologically for going through a Ray Comfort book?
No. Because I still haven't made it through this book. It's tiny.
It's a pamphlet, right? I mean,
and it's it's not robust at all. But
it's 133 pages.
It's painful. But the reason I bring this up is that Ray is different from guys like Lee Strobel and Josh McDowell, in that if you go to Ray's blog, I think sometime within the last 2 weeks, he's flatly claimed that his reason for believing, and by the way, he doesn't claim to believe, he claims to know with absolute certainty that God exists and Jesus is, because he has a personal relationship, and this is beyond question for him. And he says that his belief, his knowledge, has nothing at all to do with the historical evidence for the existence of anything that Lee Strobel or Josh McDowell might bring up in arguments. None of these are relevant to Ray. Ray knows because he knows. Now, consider that when you reread the title of this book. You can lead an atheist to evidence, but you can't make him think. What we really have here is you can lead an atheist to evidence and you can make him think. You can lead a Christian to evidence and you can make him think. You just can't lead Ray Comfort to evidence and make him think, because he has an absolute certain knowledge that is immutable as a preconception. There is no evidence you could possibly present to Ray that could ever convince him that he is wrong about the existence of God. And this is something he's said over and over again. So how completely dishonest and clueless do you have to be to write a book accusing the people who disagree with you of being unable to think and evaluate evidence?
When you've already admitted evidence doesn't matter.
When evidence didn't matter to you, and no new evidence could possibly matter to you.
Well, it sounds like Ray just slipped on his own divinely designed banana peel.
Yes. Yeah.
But I've had Christians say to me, you know, if the Romans had managed to kill all the apostles before they even got out of their original congregations, and if they had burned every copy of every document, every Pauline epistle, everything, you name it, and there was no New Testament, I would still believe, because of course Jesus is God. And he is supernatural, and he's magic. And they're not saying this to be funny. They're quite serious. We're talking about divine agency and providence. So one way or another, the reality of my faith, the justification of it would have been provided for me. So they say to me, you don't have to study your way to salvation. It's nice if you can, but it's not required.
Yeah.
It seems to me that that's a fair argument, but hang on. If you're saying that, then you have no excuse whatsoever when I say to you, please produce this divine being of yours.
Right.
If I don't have to study my way into it, I will put the book down right now and have this thing show up.
And to be fair, Ray is the only guy I know who will flat out say that. He will tell you, and he has said many times, he can demonstrate, prove to you, absolutely, that God exists in 30 seconds. And he says, you know, he gives the explanation of what you need to do. You just need to, you know, hit your knees and with a sincere heart ask God to reveal himself to you, and he will. And Ray knows this is true because the Bible tells him this is what will happen, and his knowledge of God tells him this is what will happen. And then when people say, well, I've done that, Ray has got the standard excuses. Well, you weren't sincere. You weren't, you know, it's your fault, not God's. God's going to reveal himself to you when he wants to. And so, okay, well then basically you were lying that you could demonstrate this. Well, I could demonstrate to you if you were sincere, but you've hardened your heart type thing. It's this weirdly twisting thing. But
well, it's classically non-falsifiable.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. It's you know, it's something that doesn't require any proof whatsoever, and it's something where you can completely make any excuse that you want when it doesn't work.
Right. Yeah. Karl Popper would slap him.
Yeah. And George, on that note, I'm going to let you go because we want to try and get as many Skype callers in as we can today, but I greatly appreciate you calling in. And
yeah, it's awesome to talk to you all the time.
Martin and I are doing it on the love seat, but you were our first.
Love seat.
Well,
yes.
well. Hey, you know, 3, biblically significant.
That's right.
That's very true.
All right, good luck, guys. Take care.
Thanks again.
Walk to the edge of town and go across the track where the viaduct